Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Damage Does D&D. Slightly later start than planned, but hey, all good things come to those that wait. So, we are back with the Investigators, episode 16. I will hand this over to our wonderful DM, Martin. Take it away.
Thank you. So, last time we'd taken a trip to Valaya to go and visit the site of a battle that occurred 6 months ago to see what significance that has in the larger plot that we're seeing. Bernia suffered a bit of a mental collapse at being at this place again, coupled with a bit of a psychic trap left by the creature, but was swept away into a safety net of vines and grass and protected by Nagale, god of nature. Whilst that was going on, the rest of the party faced off with a giant beetle known as a Nosoro. And well, through that fight, eventually it was defeated. Nobody died, just nearly got someone, but I'll keep trying.
Next time.
Bernia awoke and proceeded to take a little while to come to her senses again before striking the final blow against the mighty beast.
Stealing the kill.
Say again?
Stealing the kill.
Stealing the kill. It's what we all dream of. After that, I went back to the nearest town, struck a deal with a local craftsman for the location of the body and to have some percentage of that carcass shipped back to Kantichi, and the party proceeded to head back to the capital to get to catch the bus back home, which we hadn't quite got to. You were in the capital and sort of heading to the embassy, I think.
Yep.
So anything to do before? Any discussions to be had, or straight through?
I think straight through.
Right. So you go through the normal motions of getting to the embassy, speaking to someone, showing your credentials, hopping on the express route back home to Kantichi. And you arrive back there.
So, we need to take these evidence to the council, perhaps going... Let us go to find Master Stanyard, I think, would be the best plan, and see if we can either convene the council or he can advise on the process.
If the talk of the imposter is what you say, I would seriously suggest that you show him your smaller shards and I'll keep the larger shard hidden until such a time as we
have more than one master, yes.
Just in case that somebody tries to dispose of the evidence.
Indeed. Yes, okay, that's a very good plan. Okay, so I look around for... we know where... Do we know where Stanyard's? We don't know where his office is, do we?
No. You know Lucretia's office from here.
Let's go to Lucretia's... I will go to Lucretia's office to see if she's available.
Okay. Are you all going, or are you just going anyway?
Oh, yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll work your way through. Go and find Lucretia. Oh, you're back.
Yes, indeed. We were wondering if we could perhaps arrange for to speak with the council for our findings, as this is part of their mission for us.
Well, I'm not sure they'll all be available. I'll see who I can get. And she goes and sits back down, offers you a seat in the office.
Just make a quick insight check or perception check or something to make sure that it is her?
Okay. Yeah, make an insight check.
Okay, insight check. 19.
Yeah, nice. Seems very much like her.
Okay, just checking.
So yeah, she sits down, offers you a seat, and has a little to herself before Megan. So I've contacted Grandmaster Stanyard. He's on his way, and he's going to bring Grandmaster Lillian with her. That's my mother.
Right. Perfect.
While we wait, I might as well sort out payment for the last trip. You were gone what, 6 days? Was it?
I sort of looked to the rest of them.
Seems
Yeah.
about right.
I think it was about 6 days.
Okay.
So sorts out 300 gold per person.
Oh, and there's one more thing. There will be a shipment of Narcero hide coming through. If that could be shipped to my laboratory, my workshop at the house, that would be appreciated.
You guys took down a Nosoro.
We did, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I know I put my trust in the right people there. If you can handle that kind of business,
It's
Very well,
even
no.
need to see their strength.
okay. Yeah, no problem. Kral, I'll make sure that comes straight to you as soon as we see it.
Thank you kindly.
Before long, the 2 Grandmasters come in and welcome you, or greet you.
So, and again, I just want to make sure that these are the Grandmasters that. So.
Okay. Yeah, make 2 insights. One at disadvantage because you don't know Lillian very well at all.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Anyone else who's keeping an eye out for that kind of thing can do the same.
So, first one is a 10. The second one at disadvantage is a 12.
You've no reason to suspect these aren't the people they say they are.
Fair. Okay. So, well, we went to the site, and it was, I believe, a magical trap was laid for Bernia. Is that right, Bernia? You were magically attacked, and Dalen moved Bernia out of the area, and she seemed to be looked after by her god, I believe.
My recent found faith in Nagali and became fruitful.
So,
All right, that's handy.
but what before that happened, we were investigating, and I'll pull out some of the smaller shards of the Pearl of Power. So, we found this rather large Pearl of Power. This is some shard, which I believe was probably the reason that the rift happened in the first place. There was a massive release of power with this thing being exploded, and well, I'm not quite sure what the spells were, but there were multiple, I believe.
Let me take a look at that.
So straight over.
I mean, in my opinion, that from the shards themselves, the pearl itself had to be at least 4 to 5 feet in diameter.
It
You would
would
only-
look like it, wouldn't it?
I mean, something that big would hold magic supremely powerful.
So it must be somebody incredibly powerful to put this together and to perhaps to use it even. I know
Or
pearls
a
can be
num-
used by anyone, but I would suspect that somebody very, very powerful has to be involved in the creation.
Or a number of someone's.
True, yes, it could be, well, mages, wizards working together, maybe.
Hey, well, yeah, so you think that somebody particularly powerful made this large
Yes,
pearl?
when I was investigating, there seemed to be all sorts of schools of magic, all of the schools of magic. And evocation was especially strong.
So, somebody put a shit ton of powerful spells, presumably, inside this one pearl, and it went off at that battlefield.
Yeah, which then we think ripped a hole that something came through that attacked Bernia, and we believe, or possibly think, that this is something from the future, a created being from the far future. What was it? It was called Ridugita, I believe was the name. Was it not, Bernia?
Nagale told me of it. He said that the creature was not natural either to this time or to life itself.
And it was clearly a product of insane minds.
Well, I know there have been some experiments in the past about creating biological beings, but yeah, nobody's ever succeeded as far as I know. But you said it was come from the future.
Yes.
Right. Well, very worrying.
They also said that there was a being trying to get into our world, and these rifts were like where it is trying to punch holes through to our world. And
Nagale described it as a creature trying to break down a wall, and the rifts are small pieces breaking through.
Seems this thing is chipping away from the other side. And
so, important question: have there been any rifts created since we were gone?
No new ones that we've been told about.
Oh, and the Ridugita is still loose in the world, we understand.
It went northwest to the dwarves.
Oh. And Stanyard, who is a dwarf, is noticeably worried by that.
So Nagale felt that it had gotten its fill on by soldiers and was likely resting.
Right.
But we do not know where it is exactly.
Well,
Sasha, we can't hear you if you're speaking.
I believe that
Is that better?
Yes.
Yep.
If you'll forgive my impertinence, Grandmasters, but my concern lies with the fact that Grandmaster Several declared that he found nothing of importance at this site, and yet we found several indicators this is not the case.
You found several. Sorry. I had to get there before you guys did.
Yeah. Crawler just chuckle at the joke.
But I didn't understand it.
Yes.
I mean-
So,
Did say that, didn't he?
yes, he did. He was acting very oddly, in fact, I thought, in the meeting. But obviously he is a Grandmaster, so it's not my place to suggest anything.
I
would
don't
also-
suppose he happens to have disappeared in the 6 days we've been gone, has he?
I don't know. We don't have daily meetings or anything.
Or was it possibly not Severil at that meeting? Remember, there is a shape changer impersonating people.
Yeah, it is. Lillian, what do you think? She finally speaks up. Oh, well, I don't think it was anyone but Several. I mean, only some people can pull off that level of arrogance.
But it seems that he doesn't have the competence to back up that arrogance from what we found.
Yes.
You don't underestimate him. He's a supremely powerful wizard.
Would it be pertinent to mention at this point that I do not believe Valaya or Zandimi are capable of such magics as they have found?
What are you suggesting?
If I might
Hey.
interject, I managed to find something being relatively unmagical myself. I was still drawn to a specific area, and somebody with the level of magic that Several has should have been more than capable of finding such things.
So let's switch the accents. So, if you're making an accusation, then let's put it straight. Are you accusing Several of doing something he shouldn't be?
I'm not sure if we're accusing him of doing something he shouldn't be doing. What we are accusing him of is perhaps negligence when he was investigating. We found these pieces of the shard pretty easily, and the whole place was reeking of magic, and yet he said that there was nothing there at all. So,
He's either involved or he's negligent.
well,
Or-
we can't say that he's involved. We have no evidence on that whatsoever. But what we do have is the evidence that we found that he surely should have.
So, from what you're saying, either Several is trying to just, I don't know whether he went, whether he,
I mean,
I mean,
did
whether
he even
he
go?
didn't go. Yeah, maybe he didn't go, and he's just saying everything's fine, or maybe it's something a little more sinister, and he's trying to cover something up.
Yes, I mean, he may be covering up for someone else. He may be covering up for himself. Or he, like you say, might not have gone at all.
One thing's for certain, something doesn't add up here.
No.
Evocation magic is explosive, is it not?
it can be very destructive, can it not, Mazdak?
Oh, yes, of course.
Generally quite aggressive magic, yeah.
I apologize, I'm not familiar with magic
That's
too
fine.
much, but
Generally speaking, Barrier, offensive magic, it comes from the evocation school. There are others, but I would probably say the most destructive spells are definitely evocation.
I know.
I
Well,
feel
good.
that I would remember such a thing going off. My memory of that day is not complete, but the shards were over where we fought.
Right.
The creature appeared without warning.
Do you remember a big explosion? I don't suppose you do, from what you say.
Not in my
Well,
mind.
I mean,
there
it
are
could have
ways
gone.
of masking sound.
That is true.
I mean, like I say, there were other schools of magic there as well, so it could well have been some kind of illusion spell to mask the Pearl of Power exploding, and then
Yeah.
the monster appearing, as if it just appeared. Just so if there were witnesses, that's perhaps what could have been done.
I mean, could somebody have put the monster itself inside the pearl?
That's not how they work.
No, it's. I
if it could-
suspect the monster was an unhappy accident, as it were, and I suspect the Pearl of Power was literally to cause a hole or a rift of some kind to bring something through. I'm not sure if they could target something specific to bring through. I think they were hoping to bring something through. I mean, I could be wrong. They could have been. It depends. It depends on who is involved.
Well, it would seem that they've tried to open a door, and they opened it a bit wide enough to get this Ridogata through the portal, from the other side, and that is then torn into Bernya's friends and the Sandemian soldiers, and
Possibly, but it may also just be that, like the normal small pearls that we use. If somebody just sort of combined lots of spells into one thing to try and let them all go off at one time, but that in itself was too powerful and caused the hole, maybe. But I think we need to speak to several.
Absolutely.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, Grandmaster, but I mean, with the additional information that Bernya gleaned from the Gale, we have to say that this was intentional. Something's trying to open that portal, and they succeeded.
Yes, and it's ongoing. So I suspect that what we need to do is get people to each of the locations of the rifts to see if there are other pearls remains at these points as well. Is it this creature that's trying to get in is working with someone on this side to create those rifts to give it weak points to attack?
And if this is the beginning of an assault on our existence, on our world, it makes it even more important for that cooperation between Cantici and the dragons. More important. The two most powerful magical nations in the world working together. I think that needs to be the focus.
Right. Okay. So, very good. What do you want to do?
Well, we need to go to Bervia because we need to find name
Jakoto.
Jakoto, because this I think is key to understanding part of this.
I suggest at the very least, if possible, if SETI is allowing it, we send someone to investigate properly the area of the next biggest rift, which I believe is at south of Krakenoria.
I mean, either that or ask SETI to send some of his own people to go and investigate, and then be a show of faith.
Right, okay. We can speak to SETI. He was quite willing to talk to us when he was here. Things weren't very well, by the way. He's very open to good relations between the countries.
Excellent.
So, shall I reach out to him and ask him to send
Yes, I
what
think
they
that's an
budget
excellent
in
idea,
shards?
so that we can find. Because if there are shards, this means that somebody is working from this side to assist whatever it is that's trying to get in.
I have to agree.
Well, there's also the rift that opened right here outside the
Indeed.
transportation centre.
So we should definitely go and look there as well.
While you're here. Okay. And after that, you're going to head to Pervia.
Yes, I think we have a theory, and it is a theory, that Jakoto is not hiding, but has gone to ground, as it were, in Pervia, amongst the giants, perhaps.
Okay. Very well.
We were told to look for a needle in a haystack.
Well,
So
okay.
that was our theory. So yes, so we should. Yeah. Okay. So, we need to. If you're talking to Severil, and you're getting SETI to investigate the site there, we're going to investigate the site here, then go to Pervia. I think that's the plan. Is that correct? I'll sort of look around at all the rest of them.
I think you summarised it quite well.
Dalen,
If
you
I'm
haven't said anything.
Dalen,
Dalen still hasn't said anything.
I only speak when I have something to say.
Okay.
Fire.
I have nothing to add from what you have said. You have expressed it very succinctly.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, excellent. So, let's...
if possible, Grandmaster, perhaps the other large rift in Canticia could be investigated as well. I think the more sites that we check out, the more thorough and the better informed we will be.
Hey, that shouldn't be a problem. I think we've had 3 in Canticia. I'll make sure the other 2 are investigated thoroughly. If you guys are checking out the other one. Okay, well, thank you for your time and your information. I hope Lucrezia has been paying you well.
Yes, indeed she has.
And we'll speak again, I'm sure.
Yes, of course. And if you need us, obviously you can send a message. And we can do...
Don't worry, I know where you are.
Excellent.
I mean, I know where to find you is what I mean.
Of course.
Him and Lillian up and leave.
So, to...
The courtyard, then, I suppose.
Yes, indeed. We can show you... Bernia, you and Kral were not present for this. This is how we met, is over this particular rift. So that would be interesting. And I'll lead everybody out and down to the courtyard with the fountain.
Just a question, how much gold did we get?
300
Three.
each.
Okay. Wasn't sure if that was each or split between us.
We each get 50 gold a day.
Yeah, I think maybe a trip to the blacksmiths might be called for.
Possibly.
Some upgrades.
Okay. So if you're heading back to that courtyard, it's like 2 minutes away, so
Yeah.
you're there.
Okay, so I'm going to start. I will put up detect magic and see what I can find.
I do still have. If you will, I think you were logged into Roll20. I can
Yep.
move you back to there, which was
This is a map I haven't seen.
I will share it on the.
Yes, they sort of appeared around the base of that statue, didn't they?
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I will sort of throw up detect magic and go and take a little look.
Okay.
And I'm going to go and investigate where one of the creatures came in. Look for
Well, I
sharp-
think, yeah, they both kind of came in sort of around by the statue. I can't quite remember, but yeah, the rift sort of opened in and around that pool.
I'll move my character.
Well, good.
My feet are a little bit tired.
What's your name, James? There you go. And we'll
Oh.
get rid of
I sort of hang around behind Mozak somewhere. Mazdak.
Mozak.
I'll just be stood underneath one of the trees, just kind of looking out at the statue.
Yeah, for
In fact, what I'll do is I'll go up next to Mazdak and help him look for any shards or anything like that. Anything weird.
Lying down.
He tripped over. He's on his back. He's doing this.
No, I'm lying on my back and I just keep currently like spinning like a top.
Mazdak, you had cast detect magic and were taking a look
Yep.
in and around that area. Dalen, you were helping. Sasha, you were kind of looking around at the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Check.
investigation checks, yeah.
Are you sure you don't want a perception check?
No, you're looking very closely for specific things.
So
Shit.
you want me to do investigation as well, yeah?
Yes. Well, Dalen, as you specifically said you were helping Mazdak, you can just give Mazdak advantage.
All right, yeah, that's better. As I have
Okay.
+0 on my investigation.
Same.
4 with my +0 as well.
15 for me.
Is that an
50.
advantage?
Yep, that's with advantage.
Oh dear.
Okay. So just by getting around, taking a look, maybe hopping up onto the
Yeah,
the
I'll
slabs
literally
around the
walk round the statue.
not really seeing much. The detect magic, as you've got that, you are detecting a slight distant trace of something. Probably just the remnants of that original rift.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to roll water into the front of the statue there and basically just sit down and dangle his feet in the water.
Yes.
I'm just going to feel around on the bottom of the water.
Okay. Are you going to get in and just sort of drag your feet along the floor trying to feel something?
Yeah, why not?
You can do that. There's no harm to you to do that.
Except your wet feet.
Make a check underwater with your feet check.
Investigation.
Yeah,
No, don't make it investigation.
Sorry. It kind of is.
Definitely is.
We really are a party that's all or nothing on intelligence.
14.
Pretty good though. You kind of push your feet over what you know to be the feeling of coins. Because clearly some people have flipped some coins in there, but you're not feeling anything sharp, particularly out of place sharp. And you're kind of looking through it. It's nice clear water as well. You can't see anything under there.
I can't find anything, but if they were that small, perhaps they were destroyed on...
Or somebody has cleared it up.
That is also possible.
I mean, it was quite some time ago that this rift happened. This is a public space, so...
Would there be a cleaning crew that we could maybe investigate?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I mean,
I imagine somebody would empty the fountain at some point.
the area is clean. It's tidy. Someone has to be in charge of tidying. Maybe we could ask them if they found anything when they were tidying.
Sure. I don't know who to ask, though. I suspect it's maybe magically cleaned.
I mean, probably not a bad shout, knowing the folk that inhabit this city.
Whilst they're all investigating at the pool and the statue, I just want to be kind of looking around at all of the trees and bushes and seeing if there's anything off about any of them, if they're struggling at anywhere in their leaves.
Interesting. Okay. Make a nature check for me.
Very good with nature.
Uh-huh.
Yeah? 17, apparently.
Things seem nice, good. Not really anything dying. Certainly not to any foreboding scale like where you've just been or where you were 3 days ago. Nothing like that here.
The statue itself.
Yes.
I mean, I pass this every day.
Yes.
Does it look different at all? Was it holding something and is now not holding something? Is one of its fingers missing, or is there? Was
he
there...
wearing a pearl necklace and one of the pearls is missing?
Quite those sorts of questions.
Okay, make a history check.
A history check. Ugh, rolling dreadfully tonight. 15.
It's not terrible though. This is, I forgot his first name, Enzo Cantici, the same as it always has been.
Same as it ever was.
Yes.
Oh, Elan, not Enzo. I went far off.
I think. Would I know if there's a sort of cleaner crew that clean the university grounds?
There are certainly a high number of employed people to do cleaning throughout the city.
Right.
There's probably a specific, well, let's say there is a specific grounds cleaning people for the university and in this area. If you want to go and speak to someone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we could find out from Lucrezia who to ask about the cleaning crew. So,
Okay.
So I don't think we're going to find anything else here. I think Dalen's idea of asking the cleaning crew would be a good plan, just in case. Lucrezia will be able to point us towards the office.
Can I make a small observation?
Of course.
We also need to see if there's anybody from this cleaning crew that is missing. Because if that person is missing, it may point to the fact that they may have found something, and either somebody's taken it from them, or they shouldn't have been there in the first place.
That is true.
Indeed. So, I will just rush back up to Lucrezia's office, which is only like a minute or two away, and find out where the grounds cleaners, or groundskeepers' offices are.
Yeah, she can certainly point you in the direction, back down to the courtyard, take a left, so on, so forth.
Okay, so I will relay that to the group when I get back, and we will go and see the cleaning crew.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, you just don't know. Okay, well, you go down a set of stairs at one point and into or knock on a door that says cleaners on the front. Why not?
The Acme Cleaning Company.
There's the door opens. Hello?
Ah, hello. We are investigating the rifts that have been happening all over. You may remember a week or so ago there was one in the courtyard, just down there.
It was a bit longer than a week ago, I believe.
A couple of weeks, was it?
I think it's about 3 weeks now.
About 3 weeks ago, there was a rift in the courtyard. Big mess, lots of monsters, etc. Do you recall the clean-up of that at all?
Yeah. I cleaned.
You cleaned it. Oh, fantastic. Did you, perhaps, find anything interesting? Were there any sort of shards of pearl, like...
Wait. They open the door. Come in.
Okay.
Talking. Do you want some tea?
Oh, yes, please.
I'm fine, thank you.
Tea. Don't let anyone say I'm not a good host.
You're very kind.
Have I seen this person about?
May have done. Depends on how much you'd have paid attention to cleaning stuff.
I mean, until very recently, I was kind of on a par with the cleaning stuff.
I guess so.
Probably know them.
You may well do. Yeah, they're also virgin like
Yeah.
you. So not as tall as you now. You seem to have.
Yeah, Mazdak's sort of like slightly taller now.
More important now.
So,
Makes it pop. So I'm sure there was a large amount of mess, which probably we were responsible for some of it. So apologies for that. But did you perhaps come across any sort of shards of pearl or sort of white substances or anything kind of like that as you were cleaning this?
No, the white substances we find usually over near the student bars.
Obviously, yes, I'm well accustomed to avoiding those. I used to work at the bar, one of the bars.
Yeah, I saw you there.
So nothing out of the ordinary. Was it just yourself, or were there others with you assisting?
There's others that help, one or two from time to time. Just me on that one, wasn't a big job.
Okay, and nothing out of the ordinary at all.
Not that I remember.
Okay, and I will take a sip of the tea. Is it good tea?
Middling.
So, yum, good tea. So there's nothing else out of the ordinary at all. That's very strange. Oh well, thank you ever so much for your help. You've been most kind. And I'm going to whisper into Kral's head. Only Kral will hear this. I will whisper in his head. I suspect that if it was just him and there was nothing found, then this may not be the cleaner.
I can reply via thought, can't I?
I'm not sure. Let me just double check because it's a
Okay.
it's a
Because
racial
actually, what
feature.
that kind of leads into what I wanted to do next. So, watching this back and forth between Mazdak and this cleaner, is the cleaner's words and actions sort of on the level, or is it seem like somebody's like it's an act and it's being put on?
Are you asking for an insight check?
I surely am.
Well, someone's got to.
Yeah, I can speak to you.
Yeah,
but
I
you
can't
cannot reply.
Okay, cool. And you'll just see sort of Kral slightly incline his head. So I got a 13 on the dice for a total of 18.
There's nothing really to suspect. This person, they're answering the questions you give them and not in an odd way.
Yeah. I mean, if you
Especially
don't
for someone you've never seen before, it's difficult to detect lying.
Are they? It's just going to sound a bit weird. Are they definitely Verdant?
You can make an insight check as well, and if you can have advantage if you're checking their race, as it's your race.
Okay. Let's try that then.
What did you
18.
do with the? If you don't mind my asking, what did you do with the bodies and the debris from the incident?
Well, the debris just gets put in the rubbish,
Right.
and the bodies ended up at the creme. I think they just got burned with.
I see. And you're 100% sure that you didn't find any small shards of a crystal or a pearl or anything that could be, and there was nothing out of place?
No, no pearls or shards or anything.
Okay. Still drinking the tea.
May I ask, are you the same person that empties the fountain? Or is that somebody different? For the coins. I'm assuming it goes towards some kind of charity or to...
Yeah. Why are you not here again? Odd questions.
We've
We're
been asked to
investigating.
investigate the strange rifts that happened. So that was one of them. And we were just wondering if you'd come across anything odd when you were cleaning up the debris from that. There's nothing to worry. We're not accusing you of anything. You're absolutely fine. We were just interested to see if anything had turned up. It was all.
Okay. Yes, I empty the fountain of coins, and yes, they go to a charity. All of them, all of the coins.
I will say, in his mind, Verdant to Verdant, don't worry. You don't have to tell us anything about the coins. Does he
Confusion. Oh, that's a Verdant thing.
It's a Verdant thing, yeah. Well, it's more of a sort of concept type thing, not voices. I can speak with my
Aye.
wizard magic to other people, but I sort of express the concept of don't panic. We don't care about the coins.
Yeah, there's kind of a look of okay, and you get the concept back of under your hat, please.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
This person is definitely Verdant.
if y'all don't mind my asking, has anybody else come to question you about what happened that day?
No,
Nobody at all.
well, when one of the mages asked me to come and clean it up when it happened, and I did.
But nobody
Um,
came to ask you anything about any other questions about after the cleanup or while
No.
you were cleaning.
I think somebody looked at the bodies and the thing before they got me to clean it up.
I mean, do you have any idea who that was?
Oh, I think Lucrezia was there.
Right.
Yes,
Did you find
Lucrezia was
anything other
indeed
than
there.
coin fountain?
Oh, one at a time, Dalen.
Sorry.
Did you find anything other than coins in the fountain?
No.
Thank you, brother.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your tea and answering all of these ridiculous questions. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see ourselves out. Have a great day, and I will leave as we're going 10 gold
Jeez.
by the door. Just sort of put it down as I leave.
Thank you kindly for your hospitality.
Okay, thank you. Bye. He hasn't noticed the money that you've left.
Okay. Well, hopefully he'll find it.
As we sort of walk away, I'm not too sure whether. I mean, it seemed like he was being genuine, but
Yes, he was.
you're certain.
Absolutely.
Well, then that leaves us with somebody cleared up before he got to it.
Or
Or there wasn't one.
is it
There wasn't one.
correct? I mean,
So,
perhaps we need new sites, new fresh places to look
yes,
for.
I mean, the site is 3 weeks old and it is a public place.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, we were lucky that that sign for Lie was where it was because it's been left. It's been left
Yes.
alone.
I don't think, unless there's a fresh rift, I don't think we're going to find anything at any of the others. Hopefully I'm wrong, and the ones, sorry, excuse me, I'm losing my voice now. And the ones in Greconoria can be investigated and,
I mean,
there will be
if they're
something.
reaching out to Seti, they can reach out. Seti can speak to some of the other dragons and get them on board, and perhaps it could
Yes,
be
I
a
think-
concerted effort between the two nations.
Well, quite. I think that is happening currently.
But I think there's little for us to do here, and perhaps we should get on our way to Bovia.
Absolutely.
I have a question.
Of course.
If these rifts are being caused by this monster that has the gods scared, I don't understand the logic of this magic orb causing the rift.
Well, I think possibly the explosion weakened the wall, to use your analogy, so that the creature outside the wall can punch through easier.
But Nagale told me that the rifts themselves are the punches of the creature.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, the gods as they are have power in this world because people like you observe worship to them. It gives them their power. And this thing doesn't, I mean, we don't know what it is, so we don't know if there's any adherents or any people that would want
Do
it.
not. But who's to say that the orb was not brought later?
I mean, it's entirely possible.
This is a
We are
battlefield not watched by Valaris and Demia.
we are theorizing, obviously.
I mean, from
But-
what you said, Nagale said that this thing came through the rift. Now,
Yes.
The terror beast did.
So
The other thing that is trying to break through.
yes, indeed. But the rifts are all at places of magical concentration. There was no magical concentration there on that battlefield until this power,
Yes.
this orb, exploded. So, these things
Are they?
could be unrelated. Could. I don't think they are unrelated. I think they are very much related. And I think whoever created that pearl did so in order to create a magical center so that the rift could be created by the monster outside. I think the monster outside that's trying to get in has somebody on the inside. This is my current theory. I don't know if anybody else thinks that the same, or even if that's insane.
I mean, yes, on all accounts.
It's Penya, it's easier to break down the wall if there's already a hole in it.
That's true, but I feel making wild accusations is.
Well, we're not making any wild accusations currently.
I mean,
Oh,
You're close to.
we're making observations based on evidence we have accrued and our knowledge.
The only
I mean-
accusation we've put forward is that Severil did not do his job properly.
He's either involved or he's incompetent. I'm not sure which is worse, to
Well,
be honest.
the only thing we have proof of is that he did not do his job properly.
He was negligent in his responsibilities. That's
Right.
what we can prove.
Because there were things there that he should have discovered and didn't. Now, whether that's deliberate, or he's literally incompetent, or he just didn't go, which would be negligent.
But that's for people way above our heads to decide.
This is for Grand Masters to decide. We
Oh, we
should go to Bervia to find Kokoto.
To find. Yes. Yes.
Because I think
I must admit, a lot of this goes over my head. But
Better over your head than through your neck.
you do say some very strange things sometimes, Sasha.
I mean, how is knowledge going to go through your neck?
I mean, I suppose if you were strong enough, you could push a book through somebody's neck. If you sharpened the cover, perhaps. But that we just damage the book.
I think she's implying execution
Execution by knowledge.
for
Interesting.
knowing and claiming things that you shouldn't be.
Anyway,
Ah,
I've forgotten what I was going to say now.
We got to
Bervia.
find the Jakoto.
so are we going through the portal again?
Or what you could do, I suppose, if you pushed a bookcase over, it could go snap somebody's neck, I suppose. Well, it wouldn't go through necessarily.
I mean, if the book was big enough, you could beat someone to death with it.
Yes, but Sasha said go through the neck. So I'm...
Mazdak,
Hmm.
why are we looking for Jakoto and Berthia? I feel I have missed this
Oh,
conversation.
right. Okay. So, I'm glad you asked me this. So, we were told that to look for Jakoto as a needle in a haystack. So, we all thought that Jakoto would be with other bugbears. But then it was pointed out that that would be a needle with some other needles. So, we're looking for a very small thing in a very big thing. So, what are the biggest people on the planet? Giants.
Yeah.
So, therefore, Jakoto is in the land of giants, which is Bervia.
If you take the advice that Dalen was given quite literally, she's a very small needle in a very large haystack.
Quite.
Make it very difficult to find her.
That is generally the analogy.
But let's go and see if they can get us there.
Well, yes,
Well,
we
don't you
should-
think it would be good for us to recharge? It is a good time to go to have some food and some rest. We have been living away for nearly a week.
Okay.
Maybe we should go to Bervier tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay.
I mean,
When I served as a soldier, we did not fight all the time, even if war was always on. We had times we were sent away to rest, recover our bodies and minds.
and if you really felt like it, Mazdak, perhaps you could consult your books on customs of the giants so we don't step on anybody's toes or cause a
That's a very
ruckus.
good idea.
I'm not sure some of them would notice if we stepped on their toes.
Oh, I'm quite large. I imagine they would probably spike their toes on my shell.
Very well. I will go to the library and research Bervia, land of the giants.
I might go to the tavern and investigate some giant beverages.
Okay. Well, shall we meet back at our house?
Yes, I think that is a good idea.
I'll be going back to the house. I've got some ideas I need to jot down for some projects.
I think I will go to the blacksmiths.
Okay.
I think I would join your Dalen.
Actually, would y'all mind if I join you? I want to see if they got a specific piece of see if they got something for me.
I don't mind passing by the blacksmiths first, to be honest.
Right. So, library, blacksmiths. Good. Everybody's happy.
Of course.
Maybe we could get one of those very interesting cocktails as well while we are there.
Ooh,
I did enjoy that.
with the clouds. That was very good. Ah, okay. Then should I meet you there or back at the house?
Well, we do not know how long either of us will be, so maybe back at the house.
Okay. And I will scurry off to the library.
Okay.
Research Bervia and the.
Did you create your price list as you said you were going to, Martin, for all the specials you can get at the?
I'm just trying to find my document.
Put it on your
Yeah.
world thingy. And I couldn't find it, so I didn't know whether you.
I didn't put the price list on there, but I've got a document for it somewhere. Yeah. Never find things. Well, we'll start while I'm trying to do that. We'll start at the library.
Okay.
So you're just looking for.
I'm looking for customs and general research on Bervia and Berva, which is the capital city.
Yeah.
And anything obvious not to do, like go, ooh, what's the weather like up there, and that sort of thing.
FIFO fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all those kinds of things.
Right. Yeah. So information on that sort of thing is not difficult to find. The giants live in sort of family groups, family tribes.
Okay.
They are some of them are nomadic, some of them have sort of settled down into small towns. The towns themselves are sort of segregated into these sort of family units. They're kind of together but apart.
Yeah. Okay.
It can get a little bit heated amongst them. Generally, people don't tend to travel to Bervia because giants just don't really. The little people are the same as wildlife to them. They don't really think about them all that much. Customs would just be manners generally. If you do go, they like to be respected for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, so just go in with respect is kind of the.
Okay. Are they known for libraries, literature, magic, or is
No.
it no? It's more of a
Not really any of that. No.
Hit each other with trees.
The country itself is the reason the creatures there got so large is the same reason that the trees and everything got so large as well. It's basically everything's just scaled up. So the trees are going to be 200 feet tall.
right.
There are fields of mushrooms, these luminous mushrooms, or bioluminescent mushrooms, that just light up. And these fields are kilometers and kilometers long.
Everything grew to its environment.
Everything kind of grew similarly, yeah. It's also the home to the largest mountain on the planet. Don't tell that to the dwarves. Because they've got the second tallest mountain.
Mountain envy.
Mountain envy. But the dwarves would be like, yeah, but we're only this big and our mountain's this big, so relatively we've got a bigger mountain, surely.
I mean, makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so nothing weird and strange. Not many people go and visit them. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good place to hide though.
Yeah, so literally it's probably the last place you would look for someone who's not a giant.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, well, I will sit and read, and if there's nothing particularly interesting about Bervia, I will look up some magical history and look up things that beings that want to get into this plane. Is there anything interesting about that? What can I look to see, having sort of absorbed all of this stuff that I've been told? Is there any literature on those kinds of things? Are we talking like Terry Pratchett's Dungeon Dimensions, where the things are always attracted to the light of our world? Or are there any kind of...
I need to read more Terry Pratchett. That's what I'm hearing here. here.
Absolutely do. In fact, I'm very jealous that you haven't read that because you're going to have a wonderful time.
Okay, that you can make me an investigation check for.
Investigation. Okay, come on. Oh,
Go on, do a good one.
7.
Okay.
I've been rolling dreadfully all night. I've been using D&D Beyond. I might switch to actual dice because this has been terrible.
Yeah, you start looking and you pick up a really interesting book of long lost creatures, and then you get distracted by something else and like, oh, I'm going to read about that for a bit, and you just read about the Wizards Convention of 1703 for half an hour or something.
Yeah, that's scans. That's basically what I do. So it's that Wikipedia hole, isn't it? It's that,
oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that'll be. I'll let you get on with the rest of them buying their shiny toys.
Did I do with that thing? That looks like the right document. Okay, so the other 4 of you head off to the blacksmith. There's a rather enthusiastic dwarf that meets you at the door. Oh, hello! Nice. Come in. Sorry, what can I help with?
We are looking to maybe get some more enchantments or weapon modifications. You did such a good job last time.
Oh, right, great. Mum! And she scampers off, and then a less enthusiastic dwarf comes in. Oh, I'm sorry about her. Are you okay? What can I help with?
I'd like to see your price list, please.
Oh, right, yeah. Let me. What's the best way for me to do that? Let me just drop. Drop it in the chat as an image. That should be fine. Right. Hopefully that's readable.
Oh, yep, there we go.
Yep.
So those are the.
Back in.
Finally give him his price list, and now he disappears. Wasn't happy with the price, obviously. So Mazdak, while they're shopping, what were you doing after the library?
I will. After the library, we agreed that we would meet up back at the house. So I would probably make my way back to the house, and once there, sit in my study or the library, also where my bed is, but that's okay. And I will ask my book a question. I'll write in the back in my book, and I will ask, what is trying to get into our world?
Okay. 'Cause, 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 Yeah, I'll think about how I convey that.
Okay.
Is anyone doing anything in the shop? No, you've had a minute with the.
Do they have sort of any? This is going to sound like very odd, like almost like a rod that I could sort of with all I need is sort of either a metal or wood type rod, probably about 2.5 feet in length, that has got room enough for me to inscribe specific runes on.
Yep, that's absolutely something they'd be able to do. If you want a piece of metal in a shaft type shape,
Yeah,
they've got the molds for that. Yeah.
cool. So I basically want a rod which I can turn into my arcane firearm.
Okay.
So I'd need to spend a few hours with it, and then it says once I complete a long rest, I can turn it in, inscribe the needed arcane runes on it to make it into that. I just need the base piece of material essentially.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How thick does it need to be? What's your girth?
I probably need to be about sort of 1.5 inches across.
Mm-hmm.
Well, probably
Okay.
about 2 inches given his sort of the size of his meaty paw.
Well, let's see. Yeah. Okay. So that's probably not far off a standard kind of axe. So yeah, basically you want just a bit of that. Yeah, that's probably not much problem. Does it need to be solid metal all the way through?
I mean, it doesn't need to be solid metal, it can be metal or wood. Because it says it can be
Which-
a rod, staff, or a
Which do you
wand.
want? Because one's more expensive than the other.
I'll go with the metal.
Okay.
It seems more in keeping with my whole aesthetic.
Yeah. We'll go with that. Okay, so yeah, just a. There we go. Right, so we'll just call that. I don't know how much a standard thing would cost. We'll call it 40 gold just for a lump of metal.
Cool.
And how does the warding enchantment you mentioned work?
Right, so once the enchantment is on the weapon, let's say it's a sword, just for ease, when you successfully hit someone with that sword, or when that sword makes contact with an enemy that you're trying to attack, it activates this warding ability, which makes you more difficult to hit by them. So the more you hit them, the harder you are to hit. It's big smarts, that one.
That's, I think, aligns with what I would wish to do.
Good.
You said it'd be done in one day.
I can have that done in a day, just for the basic level, yeah. Just a day.
Okay. Yes. I trust you well. You did good work on my arm. So, and I'll draw my great sword and gently lay it on the counter. It's a very well used sword, this one.
I tell you what, we'll give it a polish for you as well.
Yeah. Thank you.
We like to look after.
An old gift from an old friend, that one.
Is it? Where's it from?
Valaya, but it is dwarvish made.
That's what I thought.
Same as my arm, in fact.
Your arm, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You did. You popped in, didn't you? I saw that.
Basic craftsmanship.
I'd say so. Yeah. Yeah. The It's always good to see. Oh, that was it. Yeah. No, very good. This wouldn't be the work of Slaghammer, would it?
Yes,
Uh,
Denver Slaghammer.
yeah, I know him. Fine,
Good old friend of mine.
fine smiths. Yeah, right. Not a problem. I will work on this myself. He's a piece of dwarven artistry. I will take good care of it. You'll have it back tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Shall I give you the gold now?
Yeah. If you want. Yeah, just for the. It's just 150 then.
Yep. I'll give the 150.
Lovely. Anyone else? You, big man, big lady?
No, I think you have already done a fabulous job on my my weapon here.
And mine. Unfortunately, I can't afford an upgrade for it quite yet, but
I'm sorry to hear that, but we'll always be here when you find the coin for it.
oh, I look forward to it.
These basic enchantments, can they be done on a coat, for instance, to give it a bit more, protection?
On a coat?
Yeah.
Just a normal coat.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, the basic stuff. No, that's a little more complicated when.
Okay, then no problem. I had to ask.
No, it's something I'd like to get into. I just haven't worked out the finer points of it. But
Well, we can always swing by the Polestar if you're looking for magical items, Carl.
It's fine. I've got plenty to work with. I've got plenty to do tonight. I need to get this back to the house so I can start work.
Well, wait, when you say could the basic enchantments be done on a coat, are you talking like just a piece of armor? Are you seeing it like a piece of armor, or are you looking for like a cloak of protection type of thing?
It's more like a cloak of protection type of thing. 'Cause I mean, and he'll sort of like knock on his shell. I got quite a bit of armor myself.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, that's I'm working on that.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, thank you very much for your help, and
Right. Yeah. So that would just be 40 gold, and you pick that up. Well, I'll have that sorted for tomorrow when your friend picks up her sword.
right.
Okay. And then are you going off to the Cirrus for a drink?
Why don't we pop into a magic shop and see if there's anything there?
Yeah, the Polestar.
I was looking for something that would help boost my healing capabilities or something like that. Or
Polestar Plus.
Tag along
Yeah.
with Dalen saying something along the lines of,
I have this magic now, so
I haven't updated it since the last time we looked, but there you go. We might as well keep the same inventory. But they haven't sold any of it, clearly, so it's all still there.
Kral will be sort of trading right behind Bernie. He'll keep his eyes on Bernie's heels and just be walking, but he's got his nose sort of, you'll see him reach behind his neck and just pull out a book, and he's furiously scribbling notes. So you can, if you look at it, he's got a the rod itself drawn across the diagonally across one of the pages, and he's sort of making notes and annotating the diagram about how the runes are going to fit on there, how it's going to look, etc. He's got this very sort of like fevered look, and he's very excited about having a new project.
Cool. We'll keep you busy. Yeah, so that's you've got the inventory for Pulsar Plus.
Oh, have we put it in the chat, have you?
Yes.
Ah, right, okay.
Got it.
Okay, I think I'll just walk in and walk out again then, because if they haven't got anything new, we've already been there.
Okay.
Do you still have a ring of protection?
Yes, actually we do.
I think I'll take it.
Okay, very well. Phantom! I did that last time. It just jumped to my mind. Yeah, there you go. That's $250 then, please. Do you want
Thank
it in
you.
a big box?
No, I'm going to put it on my finger.
Very wise. There you go. Well, I will definitely take that one off the list now. Okay, so where are we all going now? Back to the
Okay.
house?
Back to the house.
To the pub.
To the pub?
Go and have a cocktail.
Okay. Just Sasha and Dalen to the pub. Were you going to the Cirrus or finding a backstreet tavern?
Definitely want to go to the Cirrus. I want one of those rain cloud cocktails I got last time.
Cool.
It amused me.
Yeah, I'll go there.
Okay. It's fairly busy. We're getting into the evening, and tables are starting to fill up. But go up to the bar. Well, hey, what are you guys coming in for?
I'd like one of your cocktails, please.
One of the cocktails. Great. Any particular one, or should I pick for you?
You pick for me. Surprise me. I like that.
And what about you?
We're about to head into Bervia. Do you have any drinks from that area that I could maybe sample?
I could certainly get you a Bervia Moonlight. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. There is a cocktail with Bervia and brandy in.
Sounds good. I'll have one of those, please.
Okay, do you want one of those, big fella, or do you want something different?
I think I had the Bervian brandy before and it was very good.
Okay, something else then. So something you saying you want to try something different, or you want to just stick to
Oh,
the same?
the same is good for me.
Okay, 2 Bervia and brandies. There we go. That's 2 gold apiece then, please.
I will buy these.
Oh, thank you, brother.
You're welcome, sister.
That was some weird sexual tension between people calling themselves brother and sister.
I beg your pardon?
None of my business, I hear you.
And Taylor just looks at him very confused.
They've already wandered off to the other end of the bar.
Come, let us sit.
Yes, let's. I'm just going to sort of earwig, see if any interesting gossip comes up while we're there.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Eight.
A lot of noise.
Sasha is no Celeste.
Wow, no. The 30s in this campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just white noise.
What do you make of this all then, Dalen?
Of what? This-
The rifts, the pearls.
Oh. I am not the most clever person. I will leave the thinking to those that are. To me, it's all magic. Magic is dangerous, especially in the wrong hands. I have found people that are very clever often forget that other people are not. And they think they are better than everybody else and more important than everybody else.
Are
And
you
then,
just describing Mazdak now?
no, I do not think so. Mazdak is relatively harmless. He is a nice man. I'm talking about these wizards that consider themselves above the law. They think because they are so powerful, they can do whatever they see fit. There are instances of it, I think, throughout history. And this concerns me.
Yes.
But as to
Well.
how they come and what we do about them, I will leave that to people with bigger brains than I. I will just hit things and heal things.
Hmm.
It is what I do best.
What I do best is definitely mostly hit things.
Yes, I have noticed.
I'm not one much for the healing.
No, but you are one for the being healed.
I don't know, I think Mazdak's come closer to dying than I have.
Well, yes, he does sort of run the wrong way sometimes.
Hmm.
But I don't think that is intentional. He just does not have the experience of combat that maybe you do, and Bernier. So when he panics, he sort of runs. Usually to hide behind me, which is fine, but sometimes he runs in the wrong direction.
And gets nearly trampled on by a raging Nosoru.
Beetle, yes. Big words. Just call it a beetle.
That's why I like you, Dalen. You're just...
Go on,
Simple.
call it simple.
and quiet.
Yes. Well, I don't see the point in speaking unless you have something to say. It comes from the way I am. People do not usually wish to converse with me because they're usually running the opposite way, screaming. So I learned to keep my own counsel.
What
But
it's worth, I'm glad you're in this party.
no, thank you. It is nice to have companions that do not fear you.
I think you'll find there's not a lot that I fear,
I can believe that.
except a life that my mother would wish for me. That's my only fear.
And a very bad hangover.
Oh no, I can cope with those.
Where is this damn cocktail?
Oh, as soon as you'd have sat down, you've got right.
The little cloud comes over and rains our glasses.
Yeah, just rains brandy into your little cocktail glass.
And I presume,
Drinks here are good, but it's still very pretentious.
yes, it just makes me giggle.
No, I'd pay to see that.
Well, you will do. You're paying for the next round.
Fair enough. And I will do that.
Okay.
I think when that's finished, we'll head back to the house.
Okay.
You all right?
Right, so everyone converges back at the house.
Yes.
Okay, so you get back. Someone cooks, or you order your takeaway or whatever. There's got to be a play on words of magic Deliveroo or something.
Yeah.
I'll workshop it.
Hey there, it's Majaroo. What would you like?
Cast eat.
In the evening, there's a knock at the door.
I'm not going to hear a thing. I'm down in the workshop.
I'll answer it. Open the door.
Oh, sorry. I forgot one thing. Whoever was first back would have noticed a letter through the letterbox.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would have been me. So,
Yeah. It's got Sasha's name on it.
okay. Well, as soon as Sasha would come back to the house, I would just give her the envelope.
Yeah. Alright, too many documents. There you are. Right, I'll send that to you in a message. That. There you go. There you are.
In fact, it's probable I was sat out the front of the door because I was probably sat enjoying the evening breeze, smoking my pipe.
Okay. Well, you would have noticed in the evening then Lucrezia walking up to the house.
No.
Evening.
Good evening.
Can you come in so we can all have a chat?
Certainly. I'll sit up and kind of deal with my pipe and eventually stand up and go inside. I would find the ones who bury their heads in oak.
Sometimes it's nice to get outside and watch
The
the world.
breeze is cool today. It's relaxing. And I'll go down to the basement to go find Kral and then go and find Mazdak and just kind of bring everyone in.
She would have gone in and found a seat in the lounge. And when you all arrive, are you doing anything in light of that letter? Now, are you just tucking it away and dealing with it?
Confirmation, at least, that there have been no rifts so far as in Onenia. And then I'll just tuck it away.
Is this Lucrezia?
Make your insight check.
Apparently.
Actually, when she come in, she would have said, "Oh, have you had any custard tonight?" or something. But you can still make your insight check if you want.
No, I have not eaten custard.
Natural one.
You're just so excited that you remembered the password.
Glad she did. I'd totally forgotten.
I honestly, I've got it in my notes for like when you first ran into her today. She was going to say something about custard, and I just spaced on it. So I'm going to mention it at some point.
Yeah.
Right. So I know you're all planning a big trip to Burbia,
Yes.
but I think there's something a little closer to home we need to investigate first.
Really?
I've spoken with my mother, and she wants me to ask you guys to look a little more closely into Severill. This is
Right.
to be. I'm a little cautious of bringing this to you because I know the last time somebody came off the books to speak to you about something, it turned out to be illegitimate. But we think it's just worth going to see what he's been working on. He's got a lab. I just want you guys to go in and have a look. I'm not asking you to murder anyone. Just investigation work.
For now.
Right.
I mean,
For now.
is he going to be expecting us? I mean, we can't just go barging into somebody's workshop and.
We don't know. We've not heard from him in a few days. We don't know. Sasha, you said something in the meeting earlier, asking whether he disappeared. He may have done. He may not. We've just not heard from him for a few days.
I mean, is this kind of behavior normal for him? Does he disappear for days on end into his workshop?
The longest we ever have radio silence from him. What was the radio? The longest we ever have from him. So that was even funnier in that accent. What's the radio?
What's the radio?
He's maybe 4 or 5 days. We're about at that sort of time now.
So, couple of questions.
Yeah.
First, does he have? So his lab is off campus.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will need the address of that, obviously. Also, does he have offices on campus?
So he has an office in the university as we do. He also, like all good mages do, has his wizard's tower. That big phallic show of power.
Right.
I mean, I really don't understand the obsession with towers. I mean, you can have a perfectly good workshop that's not a tower.
I know.
Compensation.
Must be. The third location is his lab. Now, this may seem silly, but we don't know exactly where it is. He's very secretive. This is part of why we want to know a little bit. He's very paranoid and secretive, and then we go and find out that he's neglected going on his duties or has tried to
He's
avoid.
done substandard investigation work.
Yeah. So, we want you to do upstanding investigation work.
So we know he has offices in the university. He has a tower, and he has a third location. You said, which is his laboratory, which nobody knows where it is.
We can roughly. We can tell you it's in Passa. Now, to give you the thing on it, if you've looked at the map, you'll notice there is a town immediately adjacent to Cantici. Slightly to the northeast around the coast.
Yep.
This is a Passa in the old tongue just means port. It is basically what used to be the city, used to be a part of Cantici. Good pointing there, thank you. And some time ago was basically split off. This is where all of the kind of industry and and the ports are for the city, so all the boats come into Passa, and yeah, that's where all the warehouses and things are. It's also kind of the slums of the city, but because it's kind of unseemly from a uppity mage point of view, they kind of sliced it off, called it a different name, said that can just be a different town, and then Kantichi can be this wonderful, perfect place.
Gotcha.
So the fact that he's got his tower there is
That's where his lab is. His tower is
Oh.
in Kantichi.
all right. The fact that he's got his lab there, it could indicate that he's doing something nefarious in his lab.
Either that, or if it explodes, it's only going to take out some of the,
Yes.
ne'er-do-wells.
So,
Yeah.
point of order, I would have come through Passa
Yes.
on the boat to Kantichi. And probably
May well have lived there for a while as
Yeah.
well.
my parent, yeah. So I would imagine that my parents' house is kind of towards that way.
Yep, that makes sense.
Okay, so
With
I know Passa reasonably well.
Would that been a port and the kind of deliveries that we would have made from Grimwall? Would I know a little bit about it?
Yes, probably. You were in. It's the biggest port in the country, and you dealt with ship accessories.
Okay. So, it would appear that we are not going to find Chikoto tomorrow. But
It would appear so.
I know it's high on your list, but
no, this
I mean-
does seem more pressing. Is if we can prove or disprove his involvement, then we are a step closer to finding out who is behind this.
It would strike me that a wizard that has gone missing is an alarming thing,
Well, quite.
no matter what.
Oh, I'm quite keen to go looking through his unmentionables. I can tell you that much.
I don't mean to be negative, but we are talking about a very powerful wizard. Now, do we have any way of thwarting any kind of magical defenses or wards that he may have on the properties? Because I mean, I've already witnessed one rather large magical explosion. I would prefer not to be at the center of another one.
Well, I have a few tricks I could use.
that's the way to go. The best offense you can have, and you're right, there will absolutely be magical defenses. It's just knowing that they're there to start with, knowing to expect them. I can't tell you what they're going to be, of course, but you know that they're going to be there, so you can at least try and work your way around it.
A man like Several, though, would probably rely too much upon magic, so we might be able to take advantage of that fact.
Punch through a wall on the other side.
Not quite that barbaric, but
A quick question, Lucrezia, if I may. Was Several... does he like to walk places? Or does he get transport? Or does he maybe use a portal to get to his tower from the university? Do you know?
To get to his tower,
I'm just wondering if he uses a portal between the university and his tower, which is, as you said, you've given me the address, it's quite close. I would imagine he would like to use a portal to get to his laboratory. So,
he doesn't use portals to go to them.
right,
To get to his tower, he walks.
right, okay. Well, that's what I wanted to know. Because
Yeah.
a portal into a laboratory would be obviously the most direct and easy route. But
He may have set up a portal from his tower
yes,
to his lab,
indeed.
but you're not going to get into his tower.
No, it
From-
not.
From experience with arcane engineering and arcane experimentation, Mazdak, having a portal in the middle of a lab would be a very, very bad idea. That magic may intersect with some of the experiments ongoing and cause a very unexpected and unwanted reaction.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe, but that's why you
absolutely.
put it in a different room.
But
I mean,
Uh,
even in a different room, you're probably dicing with it a little
from
bit.
meeting him once and experiencing his reputation, this is something he would absolutely do. Is put
Oh,
a
yes, an
portal
arrogant
in
man
his
like him.
laboratory.
Do we know what kind of things that he was working on?
No.
Does he have a specialty? I know there are various types of magic. Sometimes wizards like to focus on one particular
Or
aspect.
a particular area of interest that outside of the magic that magic could be used to enhance?
He's the sort that has an interest in pushing boundaries. No, you're not going to say he's an expert on evocation or anything like that. He takes magical things and tries to push it a bit further. Tries to come up with new spells. It's what all the great wizards do. Some of them need to be reined in a bit.
Right. Okay.
But we're in a position where it's term time at the university and he hasn't turned up for work in 4 days. And there's questions over some of his work and potential of suspicion. So
an investigation is required. Fine. Okay.
And maybe when we get there, we just say the council is concerned for his safety because he hasn't shown up, so they've sent us to investigate.
Yes. Fine.
absolutely.
Has his office on campus been looked over, or is that something we will be looking into as well?
We've looked into it. There's nothing.
Okay.
There's nothing that
I suggest we start at the laboratory because this is the most likely place he would be. If he is pushing boundaries, then the laboratory is the place to do that. So if he may well have just forgotten the time, got involved in a big experiment, we've all done it, and just lost track of the days. It's entirely possible. I lose days in the library, so that's entirely possible that he has just forgotten the time, and we could remind him that he is needed at the university. Perfectly innocent. However, if he is not there or is hostile, then we shall deal with that as it comes up.
I mean, in Passa there should be a large magical concentration where this lab is, which I imagine, unless he's managed to shield that, we should be able to find.
Oh, absolutely.
I would also say, and Mazdak, you would know of the gang activity in this area as well.
Yeah.
If you need a little bit of help trying to find things, go and speak to Inamaya.
Inamaya. Okay, do I know that name?
You probably would have heard that name from the area. She is the leader of a gang in the area. They're kind of two main gangs. One considered bad, one considered okay, as far as gangs go. And this is the leader of the okay ones.
Okay.
If you need a little bit of pointing in the right direction, speak to Inamaya. She can be pretty reasonable.
Okay. Right. So, This sounds intriguing. Plus, we get to investigate a whole new laboratory which will have books.
I'd be interested to see what he's working on,
Well,
as it could
quite.
improve my own experiments.
There may be some magical accoutrements that we can investigate and potentially, find out some new exciting magic.
Repurpose?
But be very careful what you touch. It might
Absolutely.
be a good
Yes.
idea to your
Yeah,
hand.
that goes for everyone. Be very careful in a wizard's laboratory. Please do not touch anything unless I or Kral, do you have identify and you can identify magical objects and detect magic, etc. So
It comes
Kral and
with the
I will do the identification before anybody else touches anything. This goes especially double for you, Sasha, because I know you like to play with like heavy objects. If anything looks weapony, let us identify it first. I think that's a pretty good ground rule.
I mean, the dangers of this laboratory cannot be overstated.
Yes, but the excitement as well.
Of course, I mean, who doesn't want to do experiments, research, and find new things, new ways to do
yes.
things?
Exactly.
Oh, I'm getting the tingles just thinking about it.
I am quite happy the way things are.
As am I.
I find no need for this stretching of the boundaries of reality.
Ah, but the boundaries of reality are meant to be stretched, surely.
Are they?
Yes.
I mean, if
Isn't
you
that the point of having boundaries? It holds things in.
I mean, if you didn't stretch the boundaries of reality, how do you speak to your god?
I just close my eyes and talk. If he's listening, he listens.
Perhaps there was a better way of doing it. Perhaps we could invent some kind of device that could utilize magic and faith to create a communication with a god.
On that note, Mazdak, I would like to consult you at some point on an idea I've had. I've got a set of goggles that we could use to infuse with magic, and they could be goggles of detecting magic, so you could look at an item, and rather than casting the spell, you just put the goggles on. But that can come later.
I see.
Where's the fun in that? I like to cast spells.
Yeah, casting is fun, though.
I mean, the casting's fun, but I mean, if you can at least know where it is, you can get to more fun casting by finding the magical things.
That is a point. Yes. Well, creating magical items is not really my skill. I'm more of a researcher, and I quite like the idea of pushing boundaries. So maybe devices could assist in some way. That sounds like a thing that could
magic was what created the creatures that scarred my mind. I think I would say that it unsettles me.
That also true, but magic could help to defeat this creature.
And also, Bernier, magic in and of itself is not evil or bad in any way. It is the nature of the person using said magic that makes its use bad or good.
I have
like a
tried
sword,
to explain
the
this before, Kral.
Purpose of it that is important, and it is important that you do not lose your minds and your way in pushing boundaries.
Oh, yes, quite. Well, it have to be pretty spectacular for me to lose my mind.
or perhaps a Nosero. And you'll just hear a little snigger from
I didn't lose my mind over the Nosero. I ran away. That was a sensible thing to do.
Away into its path.
I think you'll find that it was not going for me until Sasha turned it away from her. If we're, apportioning blame for standing in the path of a creature.
Well, in any effect, let's just crack on. I'm looking forward to doing this investigation.
Investigating is a real passion of mine.
Well, we'll see what happens next. Next episode on The Investigators.
Dun dun dun!
Next time on The Investigators.
And that is where we'll leave it for tonight, because I'm going to...
Fair enough, mate. Right.
Fair enough, dude.
Thank you all very much for playing. Thank you, Martin, for DMing. That was marvellous. Interesting, fun. We're going to be investigating
very much,
Wizard's
Martin, for powering
Laboratory.
through.
Yes. That's going to be ace. Can't wait for somebody to get reshaped into something else entirely.
I just have visions of.
I feel like it's going to be Mazdak that happens to.
Nah, I'll be fine.
I just have visions of some magical trap going off, it going over Mazdak's head, hitting Bernia and turning her into this, polymorphing her into a sheep with a metal leg.
That's when it will go through your throat.
Yes, look out
Odd
for
analogy.
sharpened books flying at head height. So yeah, let's let Martin get away and go get some rest.
Yep.
We will, of course, be back here on Tuesday for Helleran Rising, the exciting aftermath of that fight and that lore drop. Well, we will see you then, 7:30 on Tuesday. We, of course, will be back again here for episode 17 of The Investigators, where we go investigate a wizard's tower, laboratory. Maybe the tower too, who knows. We will see you all very soon. Have a wonderful week. Bye.